Question 9 is one of those questions that need a lot of respect. And it's so much so that what we're going to do is we're actually going to do two renditions of this. So let's have a look at question 9. It says we're given a function which is equal to x squared. Determine the minimum distance between the point 10 and 2 and a point on f. Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind is the rule determining the maximum minimum values. We must write down the expression in the form of fx, then we must find the first derivative, then we make the first derivative equal to 0, and then we establish whether the value is a maximum minimum value. Determine the distance between a point 10 and 2, let's call that B, and a point on F. So in essence, what we have is we have a line. We have A and B. What we have is an X value of 10 and a Y value of 2. On this side, however, we have no idea. In this instance, we need a straight line formula. Let's call it AB is equal to square root X of A minus X of B squared plus Y of A minus Y of B squared. So that's the formula for the distance between 2 points, in this case A and B. And now it's a simple case of just filling in the variables. So AB will equal the square root. Do we have X of A? No, we don't. It's missing. So we'll leave it as X of A minus X of B is 10. That'll be squared. Do we have Y of A? No, we don't. So let's leave that variable in. Minus Y of B, which is 2 squared. This in itself will not work because we need an X value and we need a Y value. So what we are given is the function fx is equal to x squared. If f of x is equal to x squared, if we make x 1, then x squared will equal 1, which is equal to y. If you make x 2, that'll equal 4 because it's x squared, which will equal 2 squared, which is equal to 4, which is equal to y. And so you can go on 3, it'll equal 9, etc., etc. So what we're saying is for every value of x, we'll have a y value, which is equal to x squared. So in other words, for every x, we'll have an x squared, which is y. That means we can now go back to our formula and populate the rest of the variables. So now x of a is equal to x minus 10 squared plus y of a is x squared minus 2 squared. All we need to do now is we need to multiply this out, square root. So that'll be x squared. Then it's 10x times 2, so that is minus 20x plus 100. That'll be x to the power of 4. I'm going to run out of space. Let's quickly hide this. Minus 4x squared, and that'll be plus 4. AB will equal to the square root, and we'll have x to the power of 4 minus 3x squared minus 20x plus 104. So just quickly neaten things up. At the moment, we know that this is x and x squared, and this is a straight line. To determine the minimum distance between points A and B, we have to follow the rules of determining the maximum and minimum values. I just want to state up front, I just copied it out the book, so I've got fx. Now that fx is not the same as in question 9, where it says given fx is equal to x squared. These two are two different functions. But just to be consistent with what's in the book, I carry on using fx, which then represents the function of the distance between A and B. So at this point, we turn to the rule. So let's write down an expression of fx. The formula for fx is equal to x to the power 4 minus 3x squared minus 20x plus 104. Step 2 is we have to do the first derivative. So the first derivative of fx is 4x to the power 3 minus 6x minus 20. And the next one is to make the derivative equal to 0. So 4x to the power 3 minus 6x minus 20 equals 0. So I just made space for us. Now what we have to do is we have to factorize this. We have to figure out, and there's going to be this long division. So the first thing we know is that we got an x to the power 3, so that'll be 4. We don't have an x squared, so that'll be 0. We got a minus 6 followed by a minus 20. Now what do we divide by? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it on top here. So you take the value of 20 minus 20 and you get its factors. So it's 10 and 2, 5 and 4. You take all the variables, but one of them has to make this equal to 0. Take this 2 and you substitute. So if you go 4, 2 to the power 3 minus 6 times 2 minus 20, you will see that it'll make this equation true, because this will be 32 minus 12 minus 20, and that equals 0. So it'll be 0 equal to 0. Therefore, we're going to divide by 2. So what we're going to do now is we're going to divide by 2. So you take the 4 to the top. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 0 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 6 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. That is then 0. So let's have a look at this side first. This side is easier because what we have over here now is 4x squared plus 8x plus 10. And basically what you'll see is this is x squared, that's x, and that's 10. On this side, however, we know that x is equal to 2. Therefore, if you go one back, it'll be x minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, in this bracket, x is equal to minus 2. And that's the factor. Therefore, x will equal 2. And on the other side, we have this formula where we b squared minus 4ac. And then we can substitute b, which is 8 squared minus 4 times a, which is 4 times 10. You work that out, you'll get minus 96. Now we know that this is a non-real number, therefore we can't use this. But on the other hand, we know that x is equal to 2. Now we can take the original formula, ab equal to, this time we're going to put 2 where x is minus 3, 2 minus 20, 2 plus 104. That'll equal, you can punch it into your calculator and then you'll see you'll get 68. And then that equals 2 square root 17, and that equals 8,25. Therefore, the length is 8,25 units. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, please drop your question in the questions below. We'll read and respond as soon as possible. If you need more help with math, please click the link below that goes to my channel and go view what we have available there.